Alright people, it's Si. Happy Monday from a nice sunny Manchester. Welcome aboard a fairly rudderless good ship, Gunner Talk. It's your boy Si, aka the Mancunian. It's not a good Monday, is it? It's not an happy Monday. It's a dreadful one, but it's the start of a new week. Let's turn a fresh leaf. Let's start again. And let's go forward. Not that we can do that with much inspiration or confidence, but let's do it. The way I'm going to do things today, guys, is I'm going to do some player ratings. I've not been doing them that much of late because I don't feel like anyone's really deserved any. I'll just keep giving people zeros. That's not fair, so I'll do a few, but I'm going to rattle through them quickly for obvious reasons that we've got so many other more important things to talk about. Leno, 5. Didn't do a ton wrong, but didn't do a ton right. He made a nice save from Zaha. I hope his wife is using, or his girlfriend's using, some really shit hot detergent at home, because that's the only place this guy, poor bastard's, going to get a clean sheet, or even get a glimpse or a sniff of one, is at home, because we're incapable of it. I just said that a stat, if we've kept one clean sheet, that amazes me. I'm impressed we've managed to keep one, because we don't deserve to. We're shit. We concede for fun, and it doesn't matter who we're playing or how shit they are. I'd back a team of under-8s blind kids to score against this lot at the minute. It's so badly coached, it's laughable. Like I say, he didn't do a ton wrong, didn't do a ton right. I called it straight after the game yesterday, and obviously I knew people were going to be talking about the VAR incident. But if that really was the only thing, or the main thing that boiled your piss yesterday after that game, you need checking into a priori. It bugged me, but it wasn't the first thing that I thought, right, this is what I'm angry about after that game. And if it is, you are one of those people that refuses to see what's right under your own nose, and you just refuse to admit how shit things are, and you'll use any excuse under the sun before you turn on your own. And I can understand that ideology, but it doesn't work, and it don't wash with me. It's bollocks, absolute bollocks. And I put my mate down for it yesterday as soon as he went, fucking VAR. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. We are, at home, a very capable side that's just got a shit manager. We're 2-0 up after fucking 15 minutes or whatever it is. VAR should not matter. Even if it gave fucking 3 penalties against us, we should still have put that game to bed. It shouldn't matter. So to use that as an excuse for yesterday does not wash with me. Bollocks. And I stand by that. There's way bigger pressing issues of things that we can actually affect at the club than something that's totally out of our hands and it's just potluck whether it goes our way or not. It's upsetting and it's shit because we're getting the shitty end of that stick, that VAR stick at the minute. But the way it's not being used fairly for everybody, everyone's going to take a turn like that because they don't know their arse from their elbow. But I'm going to talk about that later. But yeah, back to Leno. And another comment that I heard yesterday was, fucking Leno is shit. He's not. That's now 11 penalties he's not managed to save. We gave Czech the same shit for that. No, we didn't. We gave Czech shit for not saving penalties, but also the fact that he was a crap goalkeeper. That's what we gave Leno Czech shit for. Not just one thing. Not just because he didn't save penalties, because he was crap. And that again, how is that the thing you're coming out of the ground moaning about yesterday? Well, Leno didn't save a penalty for the 11th time. How is that the most pressing issue leaving the ground yesterday? Fucking beyond me. But yeah, it's tickled me. I don't like to think I'm some sort of footballing mystic, Meg, but I'm not an idiot. I work in it. I've watched more fucking football matches of different sides, different countries than most people have had hot dinners and changed their underpants. So I do think my opinion is a valid one based on a lot of experience, and why I do believe I do have a bit more insight into things and a bit more knowledge than just your average guy. That might sound big-headed, but that's not my fault. That's what I've done for a job, and what I get to watch at work. And I told you guys, there were so many of you going, we need money, just get rid of Martinez, just get rid of Chambers. And I told you, Martinez is not a number 2. He's just as good as Leno. He is not here to just sit on that bench cutting oranges every week. He's here to take that number 1 shirt as soon as he gets a chance. And as soon as he does get a chance, I see him taking it. And it's the same with Chambers. I told you guys, he is the only genuine utility player we've got in our squad, and that is massive, and we're going to need it. The only other one is Ainsley Maitland-Niles, that can play more than one. We've got Torreira now because he can play wing back, goalkeeper, centre forward, and winger according to the gaffer. But Callum Chambers is the main one of those guys. He's the only one of them that we've got, and I said that's massive. And he's going to be even not if the first team, he will be a massive squad player for us this year. And we can't. What we'd get for him, we won't get the equal player. And I got called every name under the sun. Martinez is shit. He's not done enough at Reading. Yerry had a good end to the season, but that's not Premier League quality, blah, blah, blah. How can Guy prove himself in the Premier League if he's not had a chance to play in it? Fucking idiots. And I told you these guys have been big, important parts of our squad this year. Am I shocked I'm finding out that that's the case? No. Do I feel a bit smug about it? Yeah. Do I feel like celebrating about it? No. It's just one of those things, guys, but I just have to laugh at how quickly some of you change your fucking tune. Laughable, absolutely laughable. Yeah, that's goalkeeper. Callum, get onto him at right. He gets a 5. He was the hardest for me to weigh up because his game hinged around VAR, didn't it? You know, didn't go in his favour both times, but one's fairly and one's not. I gave Ainsley a lot of excuse at right back last year because I don't see him as a right back. Don't think he's got it in him to ever be one. That's just my opinion. I think he can do a job there, but not ever where you'd put him in the first team and be convinced by him. Callum's a little bit different, and I judge him differently because we signed him as a right back. We might not have had the intention of keep playing him at right back, but we signed a right back, so he should be capable of playing at right back, and he's not. He's been better than I thought there, but it's not good enough yet. And he got caught out yesterday. That was naive, the foul that he did on Zaha. Got no qualms with it. It was a stonewall penalty in my opinion. Seeing it in real time and then watching the replay, stonewall. You can't dangle the leg in the box. He got caught square on. It's always going to happen. You're unbalanced. You're going to get desperate, and that's exactly what he did. But you should know better. It's not the first time Wilf Zaha's ripped us a new arsehole, is it? And it's not like he turned up yesterday and we're all going, who's this guy from Mogadishu that we've never seen play before? What's he capable of? We've seen Wilf Zaha play. You can watch as many tapes as you want. He doesn't do anything different every week. He just keeps playing his own game. And he's going to come in off that left-hand side. He's going to do a few step-overs. And he's going to open his shoulders up to either curl it in the back post or then drag it with his right foot down your right-hand side and then whip it across the 6-yard box with his left foot. You know what he's going to do. You should be aware of it by now. I thought he was very naive to dangle the leg. And Zaha took that leg like any, crafty player would. I can't blame him for it. Don't like it. And I'll call out our players that do the same. I don't like it. I class that as cheating. I don't like it, trying to con refs. It was a foul. But for me, he still should get a yellow for simulation because there's no need to throw yourself around like that the way he does. He's too good to do it. I get that sort of underhand shit from crap players that are desperate, that know they're beaten by their opposite man, so they've got to, pinch in, standing on toes, all that shit. I get that from crap players, but I rate Wilf Zaha a little bit higher than that, and I hold him to higher standards. It disappoints me. Just like when Rivaldo did it in the World Cup, and he fell over when the ball hit him at the corner flag and he rolled around, and I just thought, you've just ruined your legacy there, you dickhead, for no reason. And I feel the same about this sort of stuff. I just don't like it. I feel like players might have had to do it a bit more before we had VAR, and it was just the ref, so you had to con that one man's set of eyes. You don't have to now. Because we've got stuff in place where it should get noticed. You don't have to con referees, so I want to see it eradicated. Don't like it, and I believe he still should have got a yellow for simulation. I do, but it was a penalty. And then the one at the other end for the winner. I'm not blaming VAR for the result because we should have been away and gone at 2-0. We should have put our foot on the gas and fucking buried them, and we didn't. We sat back, and I knew, like I say, the inevitable happened, and we all knew it was coming. I can't believe there was a single person that walked out the Emirates last night surprised. I honestly, like I say, unless they're like my mate, Mr. Sunshine, nothing's ever wrong. I just love the club and I don't care. Unless you're like that, there's no way you didn't see that were coming because it happens every week. There's nothing, we're seeing nothing new every single week. It's the same thing, same faults, same flaws every single week. But I've got to be honest, in real time, I thought, shit, he's tripped him up there. Bollocks. Yeah, it's a foul. But then obviously once you see the replays, and I'm assuming they're the replays that the officials were looking at, he's tripping up because he's getting tripped up. If anything, it's a goal, or from a playing advantage, or it's a fucking penalty. It's one or the other. I seen Steve Parish piping up last night saying, "Well, a foul's a foul." I'd love to have seen his reaction if it was the other way round. Honestly, he'd have pissed fire. He'd have been that angry. And that's what I can't stand is, I'm a fair guy. I'm an Arsenal fan, first and foremost. That is it. But just like Lacazette the other night, if I see something I don't like, I'll call it out. Just like that penalty with Chambers last night. Straight away I went, penalty. I can't believe they booked him and give him a card for diving there because it's a penalty. And then when I saw the replay, it's like, yeah, it's a penalty. Right. I don't like it because it's against us. But in the fairness of the game, and that's what I want, is a fair game, you've got to call it both ways. So Steve Parish, stick it up your fucking trumper, mate, because you're embarrassing. People like him should, who actually have some involvement in the game, should know better. You want a fair game, you want fair results. If that goes against him at the end of the season and Palace get relegated from it, what's he going to do? He'll burn places down in anger. So that's why I can't be buying people who come out with that shit. Like I say the same, if players that on our side dive, I'll call them out and say you're a diving prick. Like I said in my video last week with Laka, I hope he's on Soccer AM saying let's all have a laugh at diving. It's embarrassing. Absolutely embarrassing. But yeah, Callum, he gets a 5. Sorry, I've gone off on a bit of a tangent here, guys, but it's just hard to get everything down that went on yesterday. It was so much. Socrates, 7. I thought he was, if you can give a man of the match, I thought he was probably it yesterday. Decent, didn't do a ton wrong. I loved that little Kanchelski style run he did where Leno rolled it out and he punted it up the wing and chased it. And I thought he got fouled as well, he thought he deserved it. But just the fact that he backed himself to win that foot race, I liked. And he's not as slow as people think. I think people think he's a bit of a pudding and he's not. He's got a few more attributes to his game than people realise. He's not a mind blower. He's not going to be world class. I doubt he's ever been world class. He's been very good. I still think he's good, just not great, and I don't think he'll ever be great. I just think he's capable of the odd good performance, and surpassing himself a little bit. But he was good yesterday. I think if he'd have put in a similar performance to Louise yesterday, we'd have lost that match. Talking about Louise, he gets a 4, and he gets all those 4 points from me from the first half. He was all right in the first half. Second half, he was King Casper the Ghost. He was Mr. Invisible. Awful. I expected a lot more from him. I did. A nice guy. I've met him as a nice guy, experienced pro. I thought he'd come in and really be a big brother to people, that experienced head that can tell you about in certain situations that these young lads haven't been in. This is what happens. This is what you need to do. And I feel like he might be doing that off the pitch, but he's doing none of it on it. None of it. And that's disappointing for me. And that second goal, him and xhaka, hold your hands up, lads, because you've got to be held accountable. It was shit. My mate said to me, I said, fucking xhaka, you wanker, you've not got over there with any urgency to stop that cross coming in. Mate's like, well, you can't stop every cross. And it's like, yeah, you can't, but you can fucking try to stop him. And that's not just a criticism aimed just at xhaka. That's the entire team that we are. I said it yesterday, along with Norwich, we're the easiest team to get in the box of in the Premier League. We're in the bottom. We're in the bottom for it. Those stats that I'll rattle off in a minute. It's relegation form, guys. It really is. It's not good, and we are too easy to penetrate. Far too easy. We're like Mia Khalifa. You can fucking penetrate us any way you like. Just far too easy. Far too gaping, wide open, legs are spread. Just come in and fucking rally me as hard as you like. That's how we defend. Like I say, it's not just xhaka. It's so many players I see doing it, just standing 8 yards off somebody, just going. It's not going to cut it, guys. It's not. Fucking get over there and stop the ball coming in. Because if you don't stop the ball coming in, you're just opening up your chances to concede. That's like I say, that's not rocket science. It's the basics of football. He certainly should know fucking better. His guy's in his 30s. He's been getting taught this shit for 20 odd years. He knows better. It's poor. And then Louise, I can't excuse his part in it. It was dog shit. If I would have come in off the channel, off the byline, and swooped in at the back post, I'd have forgiven him and I'd gone, yeah, well, he's not a fucking owl. He can't turn his head 360 and whoo. That's, know he's there instinctively, or like a chameleon with eyes, like Ozil on the top of his head that can see everything. But he's got to do better there. And my reason for that is if you watch the replay, we've got 2 centre-backs marking one guy. That's enough. There's no way he should be getting a free header like that. Socrates is marking the front post, so he's just trying to stop anything that's low coming in at the front. It's then to Louise to stop the stuff at the back. Now, it pissed me off because Ayew was stood in front of him. Before he makes the run, he's in front of him. So our very experienced centre-back, multiple winner, can see that man. he can see him. So to then let him, if you want to let him drift off the shoulder, fine, but you should always keep that awareness that he's there and it being the knowledge that he's there. And he didn't. He let him go off his shoulder. The ball comes across the 6-yard line. And what did he do? He's looking at Leno. Leno's going, I'm not coming out for it. So then it's his decision to make. So he should know instinctively, even if he's not already seen Ayew, he should just feel that there's a presence that somebody might be attacking that back post. I can see no one's attacking the front, maybe someone's coming at the back behind me. So when that ball's coming across him, he should be looking at Leno going, he's not coming out for it, so what do I need to do? If in doubt, give it a clout and fucking hoof it out, put it out for a corner or throw-in, and we'll deal with it from there. And if you score from that, tough shit. But at least we quelled the initial attack. But to just let it roll across him, and then the way he just saw Ayew nod it in, and he's looking at him as if saying, where the fuck did you come from? And it's like, you've got to be kidding me, mate. You've got to be kidding me. And it's, it's little things like this that are costing us dearly. And the shit we could iron out inside 5 minutes on the training pitch with a proper manager or coach, as we should. I can't even call Unai a coach at the minute. I can't, and I don't want to berate him, but he's wank. Sorry, that's the centre backs, guys. Turney at left back, he gets a 6. He'd have got a 7. He'd have been up there with the best players on the pitch for me if he'd have stayed on all game. I was shocked he played. I didn't like it. I was happy that he's. I want to see him in the first team because I think he's going to be a worlder. But I didn't want to see it yesterday. I thought it was really risky, especially after seeing him getting cramp at the end of the Vittoria game. I thought that was really risky to throw him in. But it wasn't that bad to throw him in and then cart him after, with half an hour to go. Just, right, you've got a nice good run in your legs again. And then next week we'll bump it up another 10 minutes, blah, 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 and you're progressive. I was watching the game on pins because I know how important he's going to be to the way we play, same as Hector. And that's why I was watching like, tell me he's not, any tackle you're going, no, I don't. And the way he plays, he's he's like Torreira, he's a blood, guts and thunder type of player. You're not going to see that fucker go like that into a challenge. You're going to see him going, I can't have that right into it, And that's a Scottish thing as well, a bit like Torreira being a South American. They don't fuck about, they're not pansies. And that's for me the way he plays. And I'm just a massive fan of him. But I was, you guys can look through my posts of the last 4 years. I've been saying this guy's our ideal left back. This guy should be our left back. This guy's one of the best left backs I've ever seen. I work in football. I worked on so many Celtic games 3-4 years ago where I was watching him and Van Dijk and I'm going, these two, how are these two playing for these? They're so much better than everyone else in this league. And I'm not going to be a Jimmy Two-Face because I said the same about Fraser Foster when I first saw him against Barcelona in the Champions League, and I thought, who's this guy? He's massive. He's like, you're going to struggle to get a goal past this guy because he fills the net. I was wrong on that front, but 2 out of 3 ain't bad on my Scottish scouting mission, 4 years ago. And it's a shame because we could have got both at the time when I said it, and really cheap. We could have probably got both for less than 30 million. But no, it don't matter because we went and spent 30 on fucking Mustafi instead. Way! But, Wenger out. But, that's how it is, guys. And it doesn't shock me that he's very good and he's just going to get better and better. And I love the way he goes about things. Like I say, it's a bit of a Scottish thing, or just being a bit tougher than your average bear, is that you watch him, every player's got to try things. They've got to try and take a man on, beat the man, whatever it is. You've got to try things and they're not always going to come off, and fans have to accept that. But what fans don't accept is when it doesn't come off, players going, I'll try again in a minute. That doesn't wash with fans. What you need, and why people love people like him, and when people say, oh, you're a passion merchant, what the fuck is wrong with wanting passion out of your players? Somebody explain that to me, because it boggles my mind to this day when people criticise people for wanting passionate players. What does he do? He hounds that person. He chases that ball like a fucking whippet. He's just after it like a madman until he gets it back or it gets punted out of play. And that's what I'm all about as a fan. That's the sort of players I want in my team. And why I said, if you're looking at the modern generation of Arsenal players, he's up there with Ashley Cole for me. And if he stays for 5 years plus, he'll go down as one of the best we've had. I'm sure some people will moan about that. And, like some of you old goats like me, your Samsons and your Rices, yeah, I put them firmly in the mix. But, talking about the modern era football, he's right up there for me with Ashley Cole. I don't see how he doesn't. And like I said in my previous video, him and Guendouzi for me will be the first legends of the Emirates era. That's just how I see it. I don't believe there's been one yet. I know people see their arse over that, but Tell me who deserves to be one, because I can't think of anybody. Ramsey was decent, in part. The nearest one to me for it is Sanchez, and there's no fucking way I'm telling you that guy's an Arsenal legend or an Emirates legend. Fucking no chance. So there's not been one for me. Tierney, possibly Hector. I'm being a bit unfair on Hector. I think if he'd not have been out injured, he'd be the first Emirates legend for me. But then you've got what's a cult hero and what's a club legend. That's another a burning issue for another day, another debate. But yeah, big fan of Kieran. He's going to do big things. No concerns about him. I just wish he was getting eased in a bit better and not chucked in the deep end and running the risk of him getting injured. But he came through it unscathed. It played off. And like I say, I didn't have an issue with him getting subbed off. It was just who he came off for that I had the problem with. Oh dear, we get to the midfield. Ceballos, he gets a 2. He was garbage. He's absolute dog shit. And I tell you guys, I haven't got a vendetta against Xhaka. If anyone else puts in performances like him on a weekly basis, I'll score and rate him the same. So Ceballos gets a 2 for me. Dog shit, did absolutely nothing. Didn't even notice he was on the pitch most of the game. My mate said to me, yeah, but he's being played out of position. Yeah, he is, but he's not being asked to play fucking goal attack at netball, is he? Or, up front. He's being asked to play a different midfield role. That's no excuse for dropping a 2 out of 10. It's not. He should still be able to pull a 6 out. You don't expect him to reach an 8, 9, 10 because he's playing out of position. That's the difference, not the bottom end of the scale. No, he's still a football player and a very good one. But he's underwhelming me. He's not really done anything that excites me so far. I can see more in him than I see in Xhaka, but I can see more right now in my mate's little girl playing on the front garden with kicking a ball than I can in Xhaka, so that's not a compliment. And yeah, it's just not good enough. If he's angling for a move, whichever way he's looking at it, whether he's angling for a move out of Real Madrid or he's trying to get himself back in the setup there, he's not doing it at the minute, not even close. I can't see anything that he's doing that they'd be going, we need this guy back now, let's get him back in January, or anyone from our side going, well, we need to pay whatever they want for this guy, he's brilliant. It's not happening. Not saying it can't, but it ain't happened yet for me, and I think probably a lot of fans feel the same. Really underwhelming. Xhaka, I'm not going to talk about him now because it's going to come up in the questions, but he gets a 0. I don't give a shit what pressure he's under, what shit's being said to him off the pitch. That's a totally isolated incident to what went on yesterday. As quickly as I can put it, he got jeered by the fans for walking off yesterday with a subtle hint of, we just don't like you very much anyway. The way he reacted was fucking disgusting, and why I honestly, the only right thing for me to do is just completely flirt him, just cancel his contract, because that crossed the line for me. I can't honestly think of a player that's done anything like that in my 30 odd years of supporting us. I honestly can't. I've known players to be fucked off with the fans, but nothing's made me that angry. Nothing. I can't honestly think of... Well, I can think of one thing when I was at the Etihad and fucking Adebayor ran and slid right in front of me. That's the only time I've ever felt like climbing the audience and putting my foot in someone's mouth, because that was really disrespectful. And this touched me in the same way yesterday, is that when I heard the booing, I didn't like it, and it made me feel empty inside, because I thought, this is what it's come to. That people feel this is what they've got to do now to make change happen. We've seen that this works, so now is this the way we go? Anytime we want change, we just make it really apparently obvious. I don't know, but I didn't like it. As much as I can't stand Xhaka and I don't want him at the club, that's not the way to go about it. If that all was booing aimed at him like that, like I say, I'm getting onto it too much now, but nothing justifies his reaction. Nothing. No excuses for it, in my opinion. Absolutely none, and I'll bring on that in a minute. But Guendouzi, along with Tierney and Socrates, he was our best players. And I feel like I summed it up perfectly with him yesterday. He is the boy amongst men, but when you look at it, he is the man amongst the boys. And that's embarrassing for me that I'm saying that about a 20-year-old that most people hadn't have heard of last year, coming from French League 2. I said it the other day about, he's ruining it for me at the minute, because I can see so much in him that he makes it so obvious how little everyone else is doing and how undown for the cause they are. Because if everyone played like this kid and had the will, the fight, the desire, the drive, the nous that he's got, we would be up there. We wouldn't be moaning about Emery. We wouldn't... fuck all. Even with Emery, we could have fucking Dick Emery as manager and we'd still be near the top of the table with 11 Matteo Guendouzis. And that's saddened. As much as it delights me, it saddens me that that's how I see our squad, is that a just turned 20-year-old that's come from fucking farmer football last year where they're probably still playing with a pigskin, is showing up our entire senior squad. It's fucking shambolic, and they all need to honestly look at him and then go and look in the mirror and have a long hard look at himself, because he's humiliating 80%, 90% of the squad, and I salute him for it. And he gave me my favourite moment of yesterday, which was that rugby tackle. We all saw after the England rugby, get in boys, it's coming, but we all saw after the England rugby result that Mauro Itoje was a monster in that game, and we all know most of us know he's a gooner, and he'd done a bit of training at the club, and I thought that was for his benefit. I didn't realise that we were going to be learning stuff from him, especially not tackling like that. It was a proper Chris Jericho spear, wasn't it? It was a beast, and it tickled me, and I was laughing, and one of my mates said to me, "You're a wanker," and I said, "Well, that's Mr. Wanker to you, and that's correct, but what are you saying it about on this instance?" And he said, "Because you'd absolutely destroy Xhaka for doing that." And I said, "You're right, but do you know what the difference is, and why I'd destroy Xhaka for it? Is because that thick fuck could do it in the area or on the edge of the box. Guendouzi's clever enough," and he went, "You're reaching here, mate. This is a real in-depth explanation to something that ain't there." I said, "It's not, mate. Look at the way he goes about things. He's a clever player. He's really switched on. And why I keep saying for me, he's going to be one of the first Emirates legends because of the way he goes about it. People can talk about your Cazalas, your Ramses, whatever. Did they put in a 7, 8 out of 10 every week? No. It's once every blue moon, whereas with this kid, it's nearly every week you're getting a consistent 7 or 8 for him. And he nearly did that last year, apart from being young and a bit naive to things and not quite with the pace. He's doing it this year. Those little where he's getting caught on the ball last year aren't happening this year. And because of that, he's gone from a 7 most weeks to now to an 8 or 9. And I think he'd be a 9 or 10 out at most weeks if we were actually playing with any sort of system. I think it'd only improve him even more. But that's what I said to my mate. He's clever. He's got that role now. Is why I don't understand why Xhaka's in the team. Is that Guendouzi's role is that when we've got a corner or an attacking set piece or anything where we're all up that end of the pitch, he's the one that sits deep and helps just shield the defence from a counter attack. I'm not sure about it, but out of him, Xhaka and Torreira, he is the one with the biggest engine that might cover the grass because of his stride. So I don't like him as that role because I don't think he's got the pace to do it. But out of those 3, he is the best man for it. And he weighed that situation up for me. Is that he looked at it and went, well, this is Wilf Zaha clean on goal against just Luiz and Leno, or just Leno. He's 60 yards from goal. If there's ever a time to just absolutely wipe him fucking out, it's now. And he did it. And I hate those cynical fouls normally. But I'm not going to get mad at a player for bending the rules when they're there to be bent at the minute. If I could have my way, any cynical fouls like that, from playing or watching, where somebody's clean on goal and somebody knows they're in clean on goal, but they know if they kick the legs out from under them, it's not a malicious foul. It's a cynical one, so they know they'll only get a yellow instead of a red. So everybody's free to do that. If you're watching a man run through on goal, you're quite happy to kick his fucking legs out from under him, knowing you'll only get a yellow. And that's what Matteo did yesterday. He knew he was never going to get sent off because the referee or the Palace players can't justify that he's definitely going to run 60 yards and bury it. It was clever for me. I didn't like it. It made me laugh. Like I say, I don't like it universally as a whole, but if everyone else is getting away with it, if you can't beat them, join them. So I can't get mad at him for it, and it tickled me, and it was my only highlight of yesterday. I'd like to say, and people were, as soon as Xhaka did what he did, the amount of text messages I got saying, you must be fucking rubbing your hands at this. I was like, no. I keep telling people I don't have an agenda. I would love fucking Granit Xhaka to turn into Andreas Pirlo. I would love that, and shove my words right down my throat. I would love that because it benefits the club. It doesn't benefit me or the club that Xhaka's shit and he's not up to it and we've got him as a captain and it's like leading the fucking blind. You're blind leading the blind. That doesn't benefit me in any way. I'm sick of being depressed every week. That brings me no joy at all, and I can't believe people think it would. It boggles the mind. Boggles the mind, really does. But yeah, Guendouzi was the only midfielder yesterday. The only one. It's not good enough. The front 3 lads, they all get a 5. I'm not going to talk about much. Not good enough. Just not good enough. Not enough. Didn't see enough from any of them. I can give Laka a bit of leeway because he's just come back from injury. The other 2, it's just not good enough. You can say they're not getting the service, but them 2 as wingers are part of providing the service. They didn't do enough. They just didn't do enough. They didn't get enough service, but they didn't do enough either. 5 for the front 3 guys. Not going to rate the subs. I don't even remember Kolasinac or McKinsaka kicking the ball. So I can't rate him on that. It'd be unfair for me to do it. I'm not going to do it. But rating the substitutes, fucking 1 as actual substitutions that made sense. 1, don't get it. And let's crack on with this with Unai first and foremost. What's going on? We're not creating. That's the issue. That's the problem. It's not personnel anymore. We've got a good squad. He's got no excuses on that front. It's all down to him now, and he's in his management / coaching style, and he hasn't got one. I believe he had one when he first turned up, but it's been kicked out of him. And anybody like me who's worked in a high pressure environment or top level sports, if you stop believing in yourself, how the fuck can you expect anyone else to? And that's where I think he's at now, where we can all see him wilting. We can see, it was like at the end of Wenger, you can physically, visibly see a man wilting in front of your eyes, and that's how I feel with him right now, is you can just see him wilting. He looks like an empty fucking bin liner on the sideline with just slick back hair. Like that guy in Arachnophobia that's like that, and he's just had all the shit sucked out of him. That's how he looks, just gaunt, drawn, soulless, nothing behind the eyes, scrambling for answers, and he doesn't know where to go for them. I can't criticise him enough, and there's nothing positive to say. There isn't. And I don't like being like that, and I try and find positives. I can't. I don't see one thing he's doing right. I don't agree with his lineups a lot of the time. I don't agree with his formations. I don't agree with his tactics. I don't agree with his in-game management. I don't agree with his handling of players. I don't agree with his press conferences. I don't agree with his answers he gives. I just don't like any of it. I just don't like the man anymore. I'm not going to talk shit, because like I say, I backed him from day one. Wasn't overwhelmed, wasn't joyous that he turned up, but I thought he'd do a better job than what Wenger was doing, and I'm so disappointed that he's not, and he looks like he isn't even capable of it. It's depressing, guys. But just creating nothing. 2 wins in 8 recently, 12 goals for, 13 against, 1 clean sheet, and only 2 out of 7 goals from open play. Sorry guys, but if you take the word Arsenal out of the equation, that's fucking relegation form. It's not good. It's not good at all. And like I said, along with Norwich, we're the easiest team to get in the box of and create chances against. And that, while that's an issue, we're never going to go any further up the table, because you can rely on talent, but it only gets you so far. You've got to have some substance as well as style. It's the only way it works. You've got to have a mixture, and we don't. We've got no substance. We've got loads of stylish players, zero substance. And yeah, his subs. I mean, how is he? I mean, it's bad enough that he's not got the tactical nous to hold a 2-0 lead at home against a fairly average side. That then paired with the fact. Sorry guys, I'm really dry today. That paired with the fact that we needed a goal. We'd tossed away a 2-0 lead. We needed a goal. How is he looking at his bench and going, this 17-year-old that's had very minimal first team experience, he's going to pull this out of the bag for me? That again was a tick list, and he's got to be sacked box. I couldn't get my head around it. You're looking at Martinelli. Martinelli's words the other day about, I don't mind the rain, I don't mind the shit weather, I quite enjoy it, I'm up for it, blah blah. He's saying all the right things, and he's doing all the right things on the pitch. Saka's not that same. He's more of a luxury player to me. Where Saka to me is more of an Ozil, Martinelli's more of a Sanchez. When the going gets tough, Martinelli's a kid you want in the trench next to you. I'm not so sure. When they say, can he do it on a cold, wet, windy Tuesday in Stoke? I'm not sure Saka can. Not yet anyway. I'm not writing him off because I really rate him, but he's not who I'd be looking next to me and hoping shoulder to shoulder with him. Martinelli is. But looking down a little bit, which would be nice for me for a change. All right, short ass, right? But yeah, he's the kid I'd want next to me in the chat, and I just can't see how Unai doesn't see that. He's banging form. What more can he do to get picked? And it just boggles the mind what he's doing. And the same with Kolasinac coming on for Turney. I understand Turney going off, but be proactive, be positive, you fucker. Take Turney off and let's go with 3 at the back. Chambers is capable of playing as a right back and a centre back, so we've got 3 centre backs already on the pitch. So you've then got 1 substitution to make an attacking one. And that's how I felt yesterday. If Turney was coming off, whip him and xhaka off, bang Torreira in to steady up the midfield and stop us getting walked all over, and then get somebody on for Turney that can help us attack, Martinelli. And that's how I'd have gone. And I'm a sofa manager, but I believe that would have been much more beneficial to us yesterday than what he did. And like I say, another tick in his box for fucking going. And just no identity or style to play at all. That's the biggest issue. I keep telling you guys, everyone's scrambling. None of us are professional managers, are we? So everyone's scrambling to try and work out what's going wrong. And I've got mates that are saying it's the defence, Another mate that's saying it's the midfield. It's all of it, guys. It's the system. Can we all agree at the moment that it's not personnel? We've got the players. We've got the players. That can't be an excuse anymore. It was an excuse last year. It's not now. He's got the players. So that's out the window. What's your next excuse? He hasn't got any more. It's only down to his shit tactics. We're not good enough. He is not good enough at organising a side. Like I said the other day, I could not believe, if you just said, Si, have we got better since Unai came in? And I said, yeah, marginally. Not by much, but marginally. When I saw that stat of Wenger's last 47 and Unai's first, I actually couldn't believe my eyes that were worse. I was upset that I'd even convinced myself that I thought we were better. Because we're clearly not, are we? We're going backwards, and we've got twice the squad, which I'm going to reach on in a minute. But and like I've been saying to people, you're all right. I might be sounding like a fucking know-it-all, but like I say, from my experiences in life, you can only talk about what you know. And I know football well, I know sport well, because I watch more of it than your average bear and most people I know. That's what I'm known to for people to ask me about sports, because I watch so much. And not just football. It's like I say, our defence, it's been the same problem since before Unai got here. It was the same with Wenger. That ball down the channels, in between the lines of the centre-backs and the wing-backs, and the ball over the top, we have not been able to defend for 10 years. That's not new. That's not just happened under Unai. That's been happening for a long time. And he was meant to come in and stop that and shore us up, and he hasn't been capable of it. So what we do, because we're so fucking poor at defending that, we try to compensate by our defence sitting deep. So because our defence sit deep, then our midfield have a decision. What do we do, guys? Do we get isolated in the middle of the park, where we've just got to hope that the defence manage to get it out to us and then we can help spring the attack? Or do we then drop deep and help pick the ball off of them and then drive it further forward? So what's happening is those guys are instinctively just getting deeper and deeper and deeper till they start getting the ball. Then what happens? Then we've got these two over here and we've got our attackers over here. So then what happens with them? They have to go all the way back or get completely isolated up top. And that's what's happening, because if our midfield stay where they are, separated to our defence, what does that leave? That big gap here where the other team can just play in between the lines. And that's why on the counter-attack it's so easy to play for us, and why we look like we've got no midfield, because they're completely disjointed. We're meant to move like 3 lines up and down like that. Look at how Liverpool do it. Look at how City do it. Do they play where it's just right, it's up to the attack, right, you two go? No, they move as a team, they move as a side. They're a well-oiled machine. We're not. We're a rusty old fucking, I don't know, crap. It's not good enough. And that is all down to Unai. No other excuses. And that's why I'm done with him, and I can't give him any more. My mate said to me, knee-jerk, after the game. It's like, knee-jerk, mate, it's been 18 months, how's that knee-jerk? That's longer than I give most fucking potential wives. How is that knee-jerk? It's not. It's just not good enough. It's not on. And we're paying the price for it. And we shouldn't be. And like him, I said, well, what do you want then? He's like, well, we've got to give him longer. I mean, I watched Arsenal Fan TV yesterday for the first time in God knows how long. Don't like it. I don't get any value out of what I hear people say, because a lot of it's just ranting shit without any thought or sense behind it. I know I rant and moan, but at least I try and explain myself in an eloquent manner where it can be understood a little bit, or you can at least see where, even if you think I'm talking shit, you can at least see where I'm coming from. Whereas these guys says, fucking get him out. Why? I don't know, I just don't like it, get him out. That's what they do, and that's why I don't watch it, and a lot of people don't watch it, because it's just angry ranting. I enjoyed listening to Graham yesterday. He was the only person who I thought talked any sense yesterday after the game on Arsenal Fan TV. But those guys, I was surprised. I watched it because I thought, I want to see the instant reaction tonight. Because there was so much had gone on and so much to compute about that game, and see what the overall riding feeling was of match-going fans whose opinions I consider very highly. The same as I was texting my mates who were at the game last night saying, come on, let's have it, let's have the pitch side analysis of what's gone on there yesterday. And there were so many of them saying, let's give him to the end of the year, Ty, fucking hell. I like the kid, he's harmless, isn't he? It's like punching a fucking daffodil, innit? You just wouldn't do it. or putting down a puppy, putting a puppy in a fucking bin liner with a brick and throwing it in a canal. You just couldn't bring yourself to do it, could you? And he's a lovely kid, but he talks shit. And he's one of those people that I can't stand, eternal optimists. I've said it for so long, that is just as detrimental to the club as always being negative. There's no fucking difference for me. It's just the other end of a scale. The same as I consider people who do 20 mile an hour on the motorway just as dangerous as people that do a ton. Just as dangerous, no difference. It's just another end of a scale. And that's what I feel with those sort of people. He might turn it round. Let's base it on evidence. What evidence is he giving us at the moment that he is capable of turning this round? Name me one bit of evidence, because I cannot see it. And like I said, we're just prolonging the inevitable. What are we going to do that for? What was the point in hounding out, on a whole, or a majority of people, hounding out one of the greatest managers we've ever had, one of the greatest humans we've ever had on the planet, never mind just managers at the club, but one of the greatest, a gift to British football, world football, the world, all over. Arsene Wenger, no disrespect to the man. What was the point in getting rid of him to then stand by a complete fucking numpty for longer than we should? And my mate said to me, well, we don't want to be that. We don't want to be a Chelsea. We don't want to be a Man United where we're constantly sacking managers. Well, why just getting rid of a guy that we know is not working out? Does that mean instantly we go, you're going from 0 to 100? That doesn't wash with me. Why, just because Unai's not right, does mean that the next guy won't be right? That's not a reason to keep the guy you know that's not right. I know that sounds like a fucking tongue twister, but it makes sense to me. We can all see, universally, that Unai Emery is not going to get us out of this shit, because he's already had 18 months. Even if you give him his excuses he had last year, this season, he doesn't have those same excuses, and absolutely nothing has changed. He has got better players, a better squad, and we are getting worse. There's no excuses. And it's the way then people start looking to the past instead of looking forward. So why, when you go, Unai's not working out, do you go, I wish we hadn't got rid of Arsene? Arsene had to go. Those two things aren't mutually exclusive. Just because Unai's not good enough doesn't mean that Arsene would be good enough again. Because he wouldn't. Because he was just as one-dimensional and clueless at the end. Honestly, it's taken me all my time not to start losing it, but I just don't get that. I don't get why people look backwards. I don't get it. It's like having a girlfriend that cheats on you all the time, and then you get with a new girl and she cheats on you even more, so you go, well, at least I'll go back to her because she cheated less. Keep going forward to find one that doesn't cheat at all. It's fucking mind-boggling. It's mind-boggling. He's not good enough. We can all see it. Whether we wait now till Christmas, till next summer, we're still going to get the same answer. He is not going to turn this round. I promise you that. And I don't want to be like that, but I promise you he's not going to spin this round. He hasn't got it in him. He hasn't got the belief in himself anymore. Even if I thought he had the tactics, he ain't got the belief as well as the tactics. It's over. It is over. And the sooner we snap out of this and do it, the better it is for everybody. Because all we're doing now is hanging him out for failure. That's all we're doing now, is hanging him out to dry. It's just not on. And I don't get that. I don't get that. Just because he's not good enough and we'd need another manager doesn't mean then the next guy won't be good enough, we'll have to get another one. Then he won't be good enough and we'll just get another one. We might then hit the nail on the head. It'd have been nice to get the right guy straight after Arsene. That was the ideal scenario. But you were naive to believe we'd get the perfect successor in straight away. We've tried Unai. He felt like a bit of a stopgap. We've chucked him in there. He's not plugging the hole. So it's time to now look for that permanent fixture in the first of starting a new dawn. Because like I tried to explain to my mate last night, if we give Unai too much time, we're going to make the job. We're going to hang him out to dry. We're going to learn nothing in the process. We're going to waste another year of where we're going to have limited funds because we're not going to hit Champions League. And then we're going to give the next guy that comes in an absolute mountain to climb. And my reasons behind that is because you look at some of the players, like I was saying at the end of last season, Aubameyang, Lacazette, Ozil, Mkhitaryan, the two centre-backs, these players, Czech, Lichtstein, Monreal, I know a lot of these guys have gone, but on the whole, these guys aren't going to be here for years. Aubameyang, as much as people love him and you want to build a side around him, you can't do it now. It's too late unless you've got a short-term project. So which one are we at the minute? Because if we're running ourselves like a short-term project, Unai's got to go because results aren't going to change fast enough. And if we're running ourselves as a long-term project, Unai's still got to go. He's still got to go. And what I'm saying to you is if we keep him going, all we're going to do is keep playing burnt out football until these guys retire or they fuck off somewhere else for the last two, the sunset years of their careers. And then the next guy comes in, has got to get 2 new centre-backs that are world-class. He's got to get 2 new strikers that are world-class. It's going to leave a mountain for the next guy. So that's why, for me, it has to happen now. I'm a bit disappointed it hasn't happened this morning, and I'm going to be totally honest about that. I don't know what they're waiting for. I told you guys that my mate had said, he says they're going to stand by him. And as much as I trust what he's saying, I don't believe that that's the case. I don't believe that he's got the board's 100% full support, because I don't think he's got anybody's 100% full support at the minute, apart from maybe his wife's, or his girlfriend, or his bit on the squeeze on the side. I don't know, but he hasn't got the fans' full support. He hasn't got the players' full support. That's fucking stone cold, obviously clear. And it's time to find out, has he got the board's full backing? Because if he has, then nothing's changed backroom for me, and we still need a new board. Nothing's changed. They're just going to wait until something's at a point where it has to change, rather than being proactive about it and not wait until that last minute. If you see something coming, why would you not put something in place to make sure you don't end up at that result? You know what I mean? If you're in a shit ton of debt, you're not going to just sit and wait until the fucking bailiffs are... You're not going to wait for that, are you? You're going to contact somebody where you can make some sort of agreement to pay it off in bits or whatever, and drip pay it or whatever. It doesn't work. I was pleased that Josh was there yesterday, because like the end of the Wenger stuff, it was sad, it was horrible, and it was getting fed down the line to Josh about that. I think he was over in America and sat, sort of in his marble office, and you've got to get to the Emirates, mate. Why? Because they're on the verge of fucking pitchforks there and torching the place and carrying him out with his head on a pike. You've got to come and take a more vested interest. And I feel that's what I hope happens now, because Josh and Ryle have given me faith in them. I'm not convinced by the guys, but they've said enough for me to go, right, I'll trust what you're saying. So let's back it up again now. He's got to go. I don't see... Like I say, I would love for somebody to give me some... give me a PowerPoint presentation on reasons for Unai to stay, please, because I can't see any. And like I say, I liked the guy at first. Wasn't convinced, but I thought he was capable of much more than he's doing right now. Just not good enough, and it's very, very toxic again. And I was hoping that wouldn't be the case so quick off the back of Arsene. I was hoping that we'd just have a little bit of a honeymoon period, and we did. It just didn't, it lasted 2 months, didn't it? But yeah, like I say, the looking back thing, that's what I can't get is, I looked at it the other day and I said, I think about Arsene now, and I do think, could he do better with this group of players? He was doing better with a worse group of players that I said that Unai isn't... I can't judge Unai on that group of players because it's shit. So, using that mad logic, Arsene has to do better with this group of players because he was doing better with the worst group. So, would Arsene be better than what Unai's doing now? Yes, unequivocally. Do I want that? No, do I fuck? Because he'll still get found out because he had his flaws, like everybody has him. But Arsene was too one-dimensional, and Unai was the total opposite, but neither's worked. We've got to find that common ground in the middle of someone that's capable of all of it, and that's not going to happen overnight. So for me, it's just throw Freddie in the interim, and that's why I feel he was given that role. Throw him in and let's wait up in the summer, and then let somebody else have some money to spend, and or if we've already identified players, no manager that comes in is going to moan if we go and get an Upamecano, are they? Everyone will be happy to have a player like that, so it's going to be interesting, but that's further down the line. But this saying, be careful what you wish for. Fuck off. I didn't wish for Wenger gone, but I knew it was needed, and he went. I don't want him back. Just because Unai's doing shit doesn't mean I'm suddenly pining for Arsene. I'm pining for somebody else with new ideas, a Nagelsmann, somebody like that. And and I said it to my mate yesterday, Simeone plays boring shit football, but I am sick. I mean, I said it before the game yesterday. My mate went, "What's most important today?" And I said, "A clean sheet." And he was like, "What?" I said, "A clean sheet." I said, "I couldn't give a fuck about 3 points." And he was like, "Explain that to me." And I said, "I will do. We need to start keeping clean sheets, because the longer we keep letting anybody score against us, the harder it is to get results. 3 points means fuck all. We can see we're capable of getting 3 points regularly. But do you want to keep watching what we're watching, scruffing games? No. So what's the value in getting 3 points? You're just prolonging the agony. I wanted to see actual change, which seeing clean sheets is a start of that. You start getting clean sheets, you're going, well, we must be getting better at defending. So we must be improving. And if you're improving at that end, the shit starts coming at the other end as a natural consequence. So that's how my mind works different to other people. He couldn't see it, but that's why I would say I have a better grasp of the game than him. It's not being cocky, it's just, he's got a better fucking grasp of plumbing than I do, because that's what he does. That's how it is for me. But that's my issue with it, and I'm just sick. I said it at the start of the season. That's why, for me, Mesut had to go, because I'm sick of this toxic atmosphere. I am sick of feeling dread watching us, and just when anyone mentions us, when anyone said Arsenal years ago, I'd be like, I'm an Arsenal fan, that's me, I'm an Arsenal fan, talk to me about Arsenal. Now somebody mentions Arsenal, I'm like, fucking hell, don't look over here, for fuck's sake. And that's how it is now, and that's the sad thing, is that I feel embarrassed to say I'm an Arsenal fan, and that's fucking shoddy, because I never would have imagined I'd ever feel that in my life, because I've always felt immense pride about us, and I don't feel proud about anything at the club anymore. I really don't. It's just shit. And yeah, I don't know. I can't see, these comments come out again this morning that Unai's got the full backing of the board. I just don't see how that's possible. I think they're backing him because they've decided to bring him in. They said he was the right man for the job, so if he's not, that makes them look shit. But sometimes you've got to take it on the chin and go, I got this one wrong, and they've got it wrong. They've got to just take it on the chin and accept it and do the right thing now. Because like I say, you're just hanging him out to dry now. Look at like I said to my mate yesterday, tell me what game next coming up that you think we'll actually win. And he goes, the next one. Oh, fuck off, we're playing Liverpool, mate. We'll get walloped. Unless they put out their under-8 blindside, we're fucked. We're fucked. And like I say, you look at Unai now. We're now putting him in a situation where he can't win. Because what does he do in that game? Does he play a strong lineup to get the win? Or attempt to get a win, which I believe even with our best lineup we still won't, because of our tactics. So does he go for that? Or does he not? And he plays kids and he just uses it as a Carabao Cup game and experience. And then he's going to get panned for that because we'll lose. We're putting him in a rock and a hard place now rather than get rid of him. It's just cruel. It's just absolutely cruel. It's like having a dog and fucking keeping it in a cage all day rather than either just releasing it, letting it free, or taking it back to a home where they can rehome it to someone who can look after it. It's not... This is what my problem is. There's so much more going on at the club that's fucking wrong. It's wrong. And we need somebody with a backbone, with some belief in their own fucking convictions that I'm going to do this, I'm the man. And I see that as Josh, between Josh and Raul. It's not working out, guys. What's the point of giving Unai another 5 games to sort his shit out? It's not going to happen. And I'm not a highly paid football professional. I can tell you that for free, lads. This ain't going to change. This is only going one way, which is more empty seats, more booing, more players getting shit online, until it gets to a point where they'll have no fucking choice to do it. And I don't like that people only make a choice when they're forced to, rather than getting off their own back and fucking being proactive. I can't be doing with it. I've waffled again. But this is just, I knew this was going to be like this because there's just so much to get through, and your guys' questions aren't super detailed, so it's like trying to elaborate on maybe a bit more substance to it. But it's like Mourinho. My mate said that to me about that yesterday. Mourinho, I was like, what do you think? I said, he's a fucking manager. What more do you want me to say? He's like, yeah, but he was here. He's been here loads of times. He's been at the Emirates watching games fucking more times than I probably have over the last year. And I commented, didn't I, on my Twitter saying, oh, what? A Portuguese manager that lives in London watching a Portuguese team in London? Never stop the press. Oh, how dare he? Oh, fucking come on, guys. And that made all of you believe suddenly he's the new manager. Do I think there's maybe a little bit more in it? Is it just coincidence? Probably not. But that's more on his part than ours. He'll be loving it. He's an ego man. He will be loving it now that he can see that some Arsenal fans are going, I want Jose in. He will love that. He will get anything to stay relevant in that game, because he's not been for a while. That's why people make outlandish comments, to stay relevant, to stay in the limelight. So it doesn't shock me to show his face at the Emirates a few times, because it's a job going. You can blame, if you're looking up, you hang around the fucking job centre, don't you? It's not hard. But I don't believe that means he's going to be the next manager. Thierry was there yesterday. You're going to tell me he's the next fucking manager? Shut up. It's stupid. But if he becomes the new manager, would it upset me? I don't like the bloke. Don't like him. Do I want him at the club? No. But would he be better than Unai? Yeah. But that's not a compliment. Because most people, I would say, would be better than Unai. My comments about Sheffield United, we got outplayed by Sheffield United. And like I said, you look at all their 11 against ours. Who would you swap out of our team for one of theirs? You wouldn't. To a man, we're better in every position. So how are we getting beat 1-0? Because of that one important position. They've got a better fucking manager. So I'd rather have Chris Wilder than Unai Emery at the moment. Because he can organise a side like Sheffield United, and Unai can't organise a team like Arsenal with way more resources. It's not good enough. That's enough reason to sack the guy. He's getting outperformed by shit man. Not shit managers, that's really disrespectful of me, but much further down the pecking order managers that are maybe, ploughing their furrow at the minute. He's an experienced, well-rounded manager, and he's not showing it. He looks like the guy who used to coach my fucking under-14s team, that's just having a go at it because none of the other dads want to know because they don't want to get shit from other dads on the sideline. That's how it feels to me at the minute. For people to turn their nose up at Jose Mourinho, well, are you happy with what you're watching now? Well, how can you turn your nose up at a better manager? You might not like him, but he's better. You've got to admit that. Brendan Rodgers, I don't like the guy. Been to his house, spoke to him. He's got a fucking portrait of himself on it. A fucking portrait that big of himself on his kitchen. Well, it's a dick. But would he do a better job than Unai? Yes. Do I want him? No. Would I take him? Yes. It's fucking simple, guys. It's not rocket science. Beggars can't be choosers, and we at the minute are beggars. I don't care who comes in at the moment. Pol Pot, fucking Fidel Castro. I'm not fucking asked. Hitler. Bring Hitler in. He'd do better. He could organise troops. Fucking get it sorted. I'm sorry. That's I don't mean that, but you get what I'm saying, guys. It's not good enough. But yeah, for people to look backwards rather than forwards, that just confuses me. And you've done it with players as well. Jack, when Jack left, and I said, I love Jack. He epitomises Arsenal, but he's not fucking good enough. He can't stay fit, and he's not good enough, regularly enough. He's got to go. And I got so much shit for it. I said it doesn't mean I don't like him. It's just being realistic. I follow the club, not Jack Wilshere FC. I want what's best for Arsenal, and him leaving was what's best. Because while he was here, you feel like you should use him. But, as soon as you use him, his fucking little, his little legs are going to fucking crumble, and that's it. He's out again for 6 months, and you're going to end up paying him another fucking $5.5 million or whatever. That's why he had to go. It was nothing personal. It never is personal. It's business, and that's what football is now. It's business, guys. You've got to get with the times. So for me, he had to go. And all of you that cried and gave me shit and all the rest of it, oh, Jackie, that's it, proper Arsenal lad. Guendouzi comes in, plays out of his skin. None of you you're a fickle fucking bunch. None of you have mentioned him in 2 years now. None of you. Same with Ramsey. Oh, I remember he's gone, he's such a brilliant player. Show me all the tweets of you over the last fucking 2 months saying I wish we had him back. You haven't. Because he wouldn't make a difference. He wouldn't make a shit a difference. Nod. You go. Plays well once every 10 fucking games. Ta-ta. See you later. Sick of it saying that about players. Sick of it. Welbeck. I hated him. Lovely kid. Fellow Manc. Can't dislike that about him. It's inherently in me like people that are Mancs. But is he any good as a footballer? No. Should he have ever joined Arsenal? No. Was I sick of United fans fucking texting me every week saying I can't believe you've still got that useless cunt? No. Hated it. Maybe that clouded my judgment a little bit, but was never good enough. Iwobi, a bit the same. I was willing to give Iwobi a bit more of a try because I don't feel like he's played in position. But looking at him at Everton now, he's no fucking different. He's getting played as a 10 there, and he's no different. He's no better. You've got to just move on sometimes. Like I say, the unknown. Step into the unknown because it can be better. The only thing you're doing when you stand still is you're guaranteeing you stay in that shit. I'd rather step into the unknown knowing that maybe it might get better, but maybe it could get worse. But at least you didn't stay just in the shit. And that is what we're choosing at the minute, is to stay in the weeds. And I cannot get behind that. I can't. And like I say, it's the same with players that you pine for certain players. And it's ridiculous. I'll get onto it with Mesut. Fucking joke. People saying, that chant ringing round the Emirates about Ozil. Why? You weren't doing it before Unai came here trying to get him in the team. So what's changed? The only thing that's changed is absent makes the heart grow fonder. Just because he's not playing and you're watching shit, you're thinking that putting him would make us better, when it won't, because it's the system, it's not the personnel. So I said to somebody yesterday, we're not lacking for creative players. We've got some of the best creative players we've ever had in fucking 10 years. But they're not being, we're giving a fucking chimp a paintbrush and expecting him to paint a fucking Van Gogh, aren't we? It's ridiculous. A Lamborghini's a Lamborghini. A Lamborghini Murcielago is a Lamborghini Murcielago. But there's a big difference between putting the keys in the hand of a chimp and putting the keys in the hand of fucking... Because the chimp will just be like... putting a dashboard, and Lewis Hamilton would be making it purr like the sexiest kitten you've ever heard. And that's what we're doing at the minute. I'm so at my end with it. But yeah, people, that Mesut suddenly become some messiah. He's not the messiah, he's a very naughty boy. That's how I feel. I don't want this fucker anywhere near the first team. Do I think he could do a better job than Xhaka? Yeah. Does that mean it's good enough? No. It's not. I don't understand how you've suddenly all gone, we've got to have Mesut back. We're not creating. Well, we're not creating because of the formation, not because of the fucking players. I'm telling you, a midfield three with Torreira, Guendouzi and Ceballos would create more than a midfield three of Torreira, Ceballos and Ozil. It will. Because it's more valuable going up and down the pitch. That's my opinion. It doesn't work. I told you guys, a midfield three with Xhaka and Ozil in it is like playing with 9 fucking men, and why we get walked through so easily. You can't have players like that in a team together. You can have Mesut in a team, but it's got to be with Torreira in it. If Torreira's not in a team, you can't have Mesut in it. That's just how I see it. That's how black and white I am on that. I just can't see it. It's just, and I just don't get this, how he's become a messiah. And suddenly he's some mythical creature that'll come and he's the saviour. He's got saviour Mesut. He's going to come and save the day. As soon as Unai's gone, that's it. Mesut will be flavour of the month. No, he won't, because what tells you that the next man is going to pick him? What is he doing for the next man to go, yeah, you've been chomping at the bit for ages, mate. Get back in the side. They're going to treat him the same way because it's a board decision. It's not just I was saying this last year. Unai Emery's a stopgap and he's a coach. He's been brought in to be a coach. He is not going to get the say on shit like that. He's not. He's going to say, I don't want this guy in the side. I don't see him as part of the team. But that is it. If the fucking board turn around and go, well, mate, we're paying him a lot of money. You put him in the fucking team and you like it, or you fuck off, he'll do it. Or he'll leave. There's no way on earth, fucking stupid bollocks fucking Dino yesterday. The board have got nothing to do with this. And now he's come out and said the board has something to do with it. Who listens to that fucking idiot? He's the most clueless cunt on the fucking internet. He just makes shit up. Makes it up. He's got no fucking input, no fucking, no contacts, no sources from fucking anywhere. He's an idiot. And that's what I had to laugh. He's coming out saying, oh, it's all Unai this. Is it fuck? Do you think the board had honestly let the manager not pick a guy we're paying fucking 20 million a year or whatever just because he doesn't like his face? He dresses with his dick to the wrong side and that fucking bugs him, so he's not going to pick him. Fuck. This is a decision that's clearly been made by all of them. And me and mate were trying to drill into the numbers of it yesterday saying, well, why? I can understand if they've made a stance last year and gone, you're not putting the fucking effort in, pal, so we don't want you here. You're not the type of player. That's not the ethos we're going for. So fuck off. You're done. You're done here. You're done. End of. Find yourself another club, mate. See you later. And that's clearly what happened last year. And Mesut's gone, fuck off. Why would I? Why do I need to leave? And I can get that. No, it's not what I would do, because I love Arsenal. He doesn't. He's not an Arsenal man. He just plays for the club. We're just an employer to him. People say he loves the club. Fuck off. No, he doesn't. Because he'd have left. Because what's happening at the minute, although he might see an end to it, it's not benefiting the club in the meanwhile. While all this shit's going on, that's 18 months we've been paying him mega money for fucking nothing. For nothing. It's not good enough. If he had anything about him, he'd have gone, yeah, I'm all about the club. Because that's what I would honestly hand on heart do. I would say, look, I love playing for this club and I do not want to leave. But if you're telling me that's the only way this club moves forward, it's the club above me. The same as it's the club above players, it's the club above managers. It's the club first and foremost. So he'd have gone. But he's not. He's dug his heels in, and like any working man would do, which is that if you're getting to put your feet up all day at work on 30 grand a year, why the fuck are you going to get pushed out the door to work your bollocks off every day for 15? You're not, are you? So I can understand that side of it, but it's not because he loves the fucking club. It's because he loves the money and he loves doing fuck all and doing literally nothing for it, and that's embarrassing. And he should have more about himself. I respected him more than that. I really thought he had more about him, but he clearly doesn't. And like I say, for people to suddenly believe that he's going to be some hero is beyond me. He was shit before Unai turned up, and he'll be shit after Unai goes. And we shouldn't be catering or pandering to his whims at all. And it kind of it makes me hope that Unai's here just until that fucker's contract's out. And that's horrible. That's bitter. That is cutting your nose off to spite your face. But that's how he makes me feel. But we were talking about it. You can understand that if they took a stance on him that they don't want him in the first 11 or he's not part of the... But you can understand that. But there is no value in not even having him in the squad. You can't tell, like say, if we're playing brilliant football or we were winning games convincingly or at least looking like we were going in some sort of direction with a bit of an idea, no one would be buying a fucking out, apart from his little bum boys that will support him even if he dropped to 1 out of 10 for the rest of his career, because they're just that far up his boggly-eyed fucking arse. No one else would be batting an eyelid about him. He'd be like, fuck, we're not persisting with him. What a waste of money. But because we're not, now it intensifies it, and I've never known somebody's position to get so much stronger by doing absolutely nothing. He's just sitting back and going, I'll just watch this unfold. And he's just looking better and better by the minute. But not to me, mate, not to me, because I see right through you, pal. See right through you. I don't dislike him, but I'm not a fan. And I said that was the saddest thing about this year, is that this fucking circus continued. And while this continues, for me the football's going to struggle to get better, because it just overshadows it all the time. And I think if the club were that adamant about getting rid of him, should have just fucking cancelled his contract. If they're this adamant that they can't see any value in having him at all, like me and mate saying about why he's not in the squad at all, because there's got to be some value in at least having him on the bench. And we were saying it must be down to his contract. There must be something in his contract where if he's on the bench or an unused sub or he plays in the lineup, he gets extra money. That's all I can think. So that's why he's not included at all, is that while he's not included, he only gets 100 grand a week, and that's part of the clauses in his contract. I don't know, but for me that's the only logical explanation. Or he's gangbanged everybody's wives and they're just fucked off with him. They're the only reasons I can think. I just don't get it. But yeah, it's the wages. That's all we could think was a logical reason behind him not being in the squad at all. Love to know what you guys think on that. But Mesut Ozil ain't the fucking messiah, guys. I'm going to tell you that right now. VAR. Another talking point again yesterday. You guys know I'm an advocate of VAR. I've said it numerous times. I have no issue with it. People blaming it every week. Fucking VAR shit. VAR is video assisted referee. That's not what shit is, it, guys? If you break it down, that's not what's making poor decisions. It's the fucking referee. That's like going to the cash machine because you can't fucking remember your pin number, going, shit machine, shit stupid machine. You put the nozzle of the fucking petrol pump in your ear and you go, why's my car not filling up? Stupid petrol pump. Don't work, does it? And that's the same with this. What you're blaming a computer system for that is flawless. You aim your hate in the right direction. Nothing wrong with VAR. It is the fact that we have still got completely useless, arse from their elbow, incompetent officials. Mike Riley, how is he the head of referees, is fucking beyond me. Guy was a shit ref, and he's clearly shit at what he's doing now in an advisory role. I just don't get it. I don't get it at all. And why we've got this such primitive system. It's not like this is new technology. This is shit we've had in sports for 10 years now, if not longer. Tennis, cricket, Hawkeye, all the rest of it. Rugby. And that's what's boiled my piss, was watching the rugby on Saturday. Congratulations to the lads again, by the way. We're going all the way. But, watching it, and you're watching it and going, that's the big problem at the minute with VAR, is fans have got no fucking idea what's going on. And like they were saying, they highlighted yesterday about the game, 2.5 minutes, the fans are just stood there going, well, can I say it or can't I? Is it a goal, is it not a goal? How do we know? What do we know? Fuck all, because you're getting nothing, and that's shit. That is shit. That's pissing on the people that are your bread and butter. It's not good. And you've got to be keeping them people in the loop. And my mate was saying yesterday, he was at the ground, well, at least people at home know what's going on. We don't fucking know either. We're maybe seeing a couple more replays, but we've still got no idea what they're talking about. We could be looking at a replay thinking they're looking at a goal, and the ref and his linesmen are going, seeing the tits on that bird in aisle 3 there. Fucking hell. We don't know, do we? We don't know. What are we talking about? Oh, I'm going to go and nip Chinese on the way home, mate. What? Oh, you dirty animal. Oh, chow mein, you beast. We don't know, and that's what's sad about it. And that's what's got to change for me. Why? I was laughing, comical, seeing that fucking robot next to the pitch after the game yesterday with a monitor on it. You got a fancy monitor on a purpose-built, I know these things are purpose-built through working in it, RC car sort of thing on wheels, trolley on wheels, that's got a hydraulic arm that lifts the screen up and down. What the fuck for? What have they spent 30 grand on that for? Because I'm telling you, shit in that game don't come cheap. People, as soon as they know Sky or somebody wants something, they go, woohoo! Pack your bags, love, we're off to the Seychelles 4 times this year, and they just make up numbers for quotes for jobs. I know that because I've worked in it. And that's what they must have done with that. And we're not even fucking using it. We're not even using it. And I don't get it. I do not get it. And even if we were using it, why can't you just have a tablet? Because all this is a tablet glued onto the head of fucking Robocop. I just don't get it. And I can't understand why, and I would like an explanation of why we haven't just rolled out the exact same system as what's in the rugby. Is there some sort of copyright issue? I don't know. Is some sort of patent on it? I can't get my head around why we can't just have referee while play's continuing or whatever. I think there was a red card in there, mate. Just have a nosy at it for me. But my on-field decision is a red card. Right, ball goes out of play. The man in the fucking van. Right, mate, I think you better take another look at this and just confirm your thoughts. Right, cheers, pal. Over to the sideline with his third official, fourth official, whatever you want to call him. Now, at that point, for me, the managers can come and look at a monitor with the two captains or whatever and have a fucking butchers. But while this is going on, the referee and his man should be mic'd up, looking at the monitor, and we should be hearing the explanation at home and in the ground as we're seeing the images. Why can't that happen? And that is the problem with VAR, and that's why they're getting so much shit wrong. That mixed in with the fact that referees are using it to make their decisions instead of confirming their decisions. There's so many refs now that have got lazy and gone, well, rather than get shit and abused, I'll just let the machine, and then people are just going to go, fucking VAR, that fucking VAR's had enough again. Like idiots. And that's all I can see, is that they're using it now to do their job for them, and that's not what it was brought in for. It's just brought in for you to go, right, mate, I'm giving a penalty. Was that a penalty? Yes, mate, it's definitely a penalty. Do you want to come and have another look at it yourself? No, I trust your instinct. Right, bang. I'm going with my original on-field decision. That's what it should be used for. And this clear and obvious bollocks, that makes no sense to me at the moment, because the on-field decision yesterday was goal. Right, well, the guy in the van then obviously has gone, well, there's a clear and obvious foul from Chambers here. Well, I didn't fucking see it. And that wants explaining. And we've gone backwards from the 90s on that. Because, I'm sure most of you kids, if anyone's fucking watching this, most of you kids might not be old enough to remember. But in the early days of the Premier League and the league, after the game, you'd get Paul Durkin dragged into the tunnel. And he'd get grilled on his decisions. Right, Paul, why did you give this red card today? Why did you give that offside? Why did you give this? They were asked to fucking... Why are referees the only people in sport that aren't held accountable? Why are they not held accountable for anything? They're the only people that get a free ride. Stewards get scrutinised, matchday staff, police, fans, managers, players, staff, on-field staff. Everyone else gets scrutinised. The only people that shit don't stink is referees, and that fucking blows my... I just don't get it. I don't get why they're so protected. They're just the same as everybody else. If you make a decision and it's shit, you should either hold your hands up or explain yourself. And I think referees would get a lot less shit if we heard their explanations. At least you go, well, I can sort of see where he was coming from. Like that yesterday. If he'd have come out yesterday after that game, I know it doesn't make anything any better, but if he'd have said, look, from how I saw it, from where I was on the pitch, it looked to me like Chambers had tripped him up. Now I've had a chance to go and see it again. I'm sorry, he gets tripped and that's why he trips him. You'd go, well, it doesn't help, but thank you. At least now we get where you're coming from. I get it. We're not getting that, so no wonder people hate fucking referees. Because they're like some magical fucking creature that you can't give shit to. It's weird. It's absolutely weird. Fuck me, I've been talking now for an hour and 10 minutes and we've not even talked about xhaka yet. It's going to be a long one. Granite, between the ears, xhaka. What can I say about that yesterday that I haven't already? People defending him, you disgust me. Honestly, people that are saying he was justified in what he did yesterday, disgust me. As much as you say the people who booed him disgust you, you disgust me. To honestly say that was okay is bollocks. And I'll tell you for one simple fucking reason. Yes, what he might be getting on other on social media platforms might be horrific. Well, for one, he has a choice whether to keep those social media or not. As a multi-millionaire with a family, he's got a pretty empty life if he needs Instagram, first and foremost. He makes enough money where that's not his mainstream of income. Wearing clothes, watches, whatever bollocks, driving cars, whatever it is. So that doesn't wash with me. He could get rid of it if he wanted to cut a lot of it out of his life. Like I say, I've worked in football. I work with guys who don't have social media purposely because they're not man enough to read the insults every day. Some people are, some people aren't. Gary Neville, he's man enough to read them. I've looked through Gary's phone. He's showed me the messages of people saying, I hope your fucking sister gets ran over in a car crash and all, your brother and all this. I've seen it all. It's disgusting. It's not okay. But does that mean that then you get to do the same to other people? No. Because we don't live in that sort of world. It's not eye for an eye. It don't work like that. You know, if one of you guys pisses me off today, does that mean I can go and stab an old lady outside and go, well, I was justified because he shouted at me yesterday? Well, that's the excuse you're giving that fucker. So just think about how stupid what you're saying is and saying, oh, he was right for doing that, I'd have done the same. Well, you're just as petty, fucking egotistical, narrow-minded dicks as he is. And I'm sorry if you don't like that, but it's a fucking truth. And you can't pull me on it because I've just explained it to you perfectly and it's no different. You're excusing one type of behaviour. I deal with foster kids now. Do they get away with going through all their lives going, yeah, but my dad bummed me till the age of 8, so that's why I go around bumming people? No, doesn't work like that. You use that as a reason not to turn out like that, not to join in, and that's what he's done. He's gone, if you can't beat him, join him. Right, you can all fuck off then. If I'm getting told to fuck off, you can fuck off. You've got to hold yourself to a better standard than that as a man. As an adult and as a man, you've got to hold yourself to a higher standard than that, because he ain't just fucking Pete that's going working down the local garage. He's captain of Arsenal. He's the leader. He is the shining light. He is the example to young kids watching, young kids at home, people in the youth set up at the club. What image does that set now? The same reason why I got fucked off with Mesut. Same reason why I got fucked off with Robbie yesterday watching Arsenal Fan TV. Because he was giving DT, Troops, giving all of them an hard time yesterday, bagging on xhaka, saying he can fuck off, he should never wear the club shirt ever again. And he was like, whoa, hang on a minute. But it was wrong what we did. It was wrong booing him, it was wrong this. But you were swinging out of his fucking arse when it came down to Mesut telling him to go stiff himself at the fucking Europa League final. Turncoats, man, you fucking hypocrites. Say two different things. If you're doing it for Mesut, you do it for him. He told the manager to fuck off yesterday. That's 2 players now that have told the manager to go fuck himself. And people think that this guy, we should be confident that he can turn this round. What does that say to the rest of the squad? Well, you can tell the manager to go fuck himself. It's not the end of your career, it's the end of his. It's not good, guys. It's not a good atmosphere. It's not a good look. It's not a good look. I'm not excusing for 1 minute the fact that people are sending him sick, disgusting shit on the internet. I'm not. But that's got fuck all to do with what happened yesterday. Because I watched the game and I spoke to 2-3 mates that were at the game and I said, give me your opinion on what you heard from where you sit. How did you think that went? And a lot of my mates said to me straight away, you're on the nail. You've hit the nail on the head with why? And he said, because it was his ego. It was just purely down to his ego. Yes, he might be a bit fucked off, but that was all down to his ego. And I was like, what do you mean? I was like, because you can't quite pick it up off the telly. For me, watching it just on the telly, it was like, booing, fucking speed it up, mate, get off the pitch. Bit more of a boo, he egged it on, and then it was like a full chorus of boos, you're taking the piss pal, get the fuck off. And then he was like, do you know what, fuck you lot, take the shirt, take the armband, get fucked, your club's a fucking joke. You and the fans, fuck yourselves. That's what it felt to me yesterday. Whereas my mate was like, look, when that substitution came up, it was an ironic cheer. It started off as an ironic cheer that, oh, fucking hell, Emery's doing something about this. We're folding like a cheap suit and he's actually going to try and do something about it. That's how it started off, in their opinions, at the game. That's what they were saying. And then it was a bit of a cheer for Saka coming on. And then I'm not going to be naive enough to pretend that there wasn't a bit of booing for Xhaka. He's been shit now. That's 2 games he's come off just after half time because he's not been good. He dropped 0 out of 10s. He wasn't terrible yesterday. And somebody said to me he's being used as a scapegoat. I've not seen one fucking person blame him for yesterday. Just blaming him for his own actions, which he should be held accountable for. Was he the reason we fucking played like shit yesterday? No. Was he part of it? Yes. Was what he did yesterday all his own fault and all of his own doing? Yeah. 92% of it, yeah. Yes, he's getting a bit of shit from elsewhere, but that doesn't excuse his behaviour yesterday. Fucking doesn't. Does not excuse it one bit. There is no excuse for what he did yesterday. But that's what mate said. It was an ironic cheer to Emery. And Xhaka's ego got in the way. And because he took that instantly, that cheering, as get fuck off. Get off, as in you shit, get off. And it wasn't, it was in stop jogging. If he'd have jogged off yesterday, none of that would have fucking happened. And you can tell me I'm full of shit, but that's firmly what I believe from what I've been told for people at the game, and my personal opinion is that that's what happened. Is his ego got the better of him, and because he's took a bit of shit and he's a petulant baby, like I said about his comments towards Petty and Evra, having a fire back at them like they would honestly take on board what that no mark is saying to him. Proven World Cup winners, proven club winners, won everything going. As if they're going to laugh or see their arse at him replying. They're going to go, you've seen this baby? I've called them babies and he's acted like a baby. Way to prove me wrong, Xhaka. And he's just done it yesterday. The best for him to have done, and I feel like what I'd have done yesterday, was gone, can you let me hear it? At least I can see there's some passion in you fuckers. The ground's half empty, but at least the corpses that are here have got something about them. But he didn't. He took it that step further, which was go fuck yourselves. And I can never remember a player telling the home fans that pay a lot of money to their faces to go fuck themselves. And then the manager. Abysmal, guys. There's no justifying that. There isn't. I don't care what shit. I don't care if there's 8 million people a day telling him they want to bum his kids. It's not an excuse to then go and be shitty to someone else. The world doesn't work like that, guys. You should know that just as a human. That's not the world won't turn if that's how everybody reacts. Oh, something shit's happened to me, right, I'll do something shit to you. Something that shit I'm saying, right, I'll go and do something. It'd just be a knock-on effect of arseholes. Don't work like that, guys. So you can't fucking let him off for it. It was wank. And he showed himself up for exactly what I knew he was, which is a massive ego, tiny skill set, petulant fucking baby. And like I say, I would give him some sympathy if everyone in the Emirates yesterday was going, we all hope your kids die, we all hope your kids die, your wife's a slag, your wife's a slag. I'd be going, that's fucking out of order, guys. But do you know what they did? They jeered him for not running off the pitch. Cry me a fucking river. And I don't know if this is just wet football fans in this country. I watch a lot of American sports. I'm not saying abuse is right, but people are entitled to opinion. There's freedom of speech. So fans that have paid and are at the game have the fucking right to voice their opinion. And if that is in a very basic boo, end the world today, because stop it, I want to get off. They booed him. And it wasn't really a real raucous, entire ground boo until he told everyone to go fuck themselves. That's when it went up an octave and it was like, this is toxic. Before that, he could have just... And it's the same with Unai. Why Unai wasn't going, mate, you know the script. He should know that. That's why he's not a captain. Because instinctively as a captain, look at Tierney, captain. What did he do when he got subbed? He ran off like his fucking life depended on it. He didn't stroll off. And somebody said to me, well, for like 4 seconds are going to make the difference. It's not about the time. It's about what the president accepts. It's about the mentality of it. Your captain. What he should have done, he's fucking ran off, gone to Xhaka and fucking got hold of him and gone, come on son, fucking get on there and make the difference. And then turned to the fans and gone, make some noise, you fucking library. Make some fucking noise. Those of you who bothered to turn up, make some fucking racket and get behind us. And he didn't, because he's petulant. He did the total opposite and turned on us because he's a fucking arsehole. No time for the guy. Fuck off out of my club. I don't want to ever see him as captain again. Don't want to ever see him fucking play again. Never mind captain. Fuck off. Never wanted him. Fucking more done with him than I've ever been. Guy's an absolute fucking plant pot and a total embarrassment. Fucking Tatar dickhead. And if people are pissed off with this, fucking put his hat in it and I'll tell the cunt to his face. I'm not like that, guys. I say things without atting people in it because it's just a polite thing to do because I'm just voicing my opinion. Somebody doesn't need to hear it. But if somebody wants to fucking hear it, I'll tell him to his face. It's not two-faced at all. And somebody said that to me and it's fucking bollocks. I'm man enough to tell him to his face. I don't care if he kicked fuck out of me. I would still tell him to his face I think he's shit. Because I'm not a weasel. Not the world's hardest man, but I ain't no fucking weasel. I'll tell somebody to the face what I think of him. And anybody that knows me knows I'm like that. Fucking bollocks. The guy's a wet fuck. There's no excuse for what he did yesterday. I have seen, heard, and took more of that. Not more abuse, but I've seen it firsthand. People getting way worse than he was getting. Way worse. And he's a baby. He is a fucking baby. And even my mate said to me yesterday, look at Mustafi. He's had way worse shit than Xhaka's had. Has he done what he's done? No, the cunt just keeps tweeting back on top, doesn't he? Because he's a man. That's one thing I respect him for now. He is a proper fucking man. He's a shit footballer, but he's a proper fucking man. I would shake his hand and I'd expect a firm one back. Go to shake Xhaka's hand, it'd be one of them. Oh, and you go, oh, what was that? Weak-willed, limp-wristed, wet fuck is all I've got to say about him. And like I say, if you honestly back what he did yesterday, fuck off, get fucked. You and him get on that bike you fucking rode in on and fuck right off. Take your fucking fanboys with you. Honestly, that's what I want to see at the end of today. Fucking Emery in the middle, holding hands with Xhaka and Ozil on either side. Like that, swinging and skipping, fucking off into the sunset. Because I ain't got time for fucking all three of them. Sick of them. Sick of the circus. Honestly, next season, when it's the transfer window, sign 2 bears, a trapeze artist, and a fucking monkey in a fucking flat cap on a bicycle. Because that's what we might as well get, because we're a fucking circus. Honestly, it's joking. I'm sick of this shit. I am sick of my football club that I fucking love becoming a joke to everybody else. I am sick of it. And while these fucking arseholes are here, that ain't going to change. I'm done with it. Lacquer, mate, I like you. But what you've done, liking that fucking comment from Troops about Xhaka can fuck off, you can all fuck off. Liking that, my mate said to me, well, he won't pay attention to what he likes. Well, that's fucking dangerous, isn't it? That's a very dangerous game. He should, that's not an excuse for me. That's pretending a bit of negligence. That's bullshit. If he's not in control of what he's liking, that could get him in a lot of hot water. Especially when it comes to bad-mouthing your own fellow teammates. You could think Xhaka's the biggest wanker on the planet, but you can't come out and say it unless you're really done with the guy. Maybe Lacquer is, but for people to use that as an excuse as well, he probably doesn't know that he's like what that actual comment says. That doesn't fucking wash with me. He knows exactly what he's like yesterday. Don't try and pull the wool over my eyes, mate. I'm not disappointed with it in that respect, because I feel the same about Xhaka. But for people to try and palm it off like he doesn't know he's done it, bollocks, he knows. The same as when Ozil posted his fucking, how I laugh photo. How many? 11 players like that? I don't care what that was about. They know the connotations that will be seen that he's laughing at Emery, and 11 of them fucking liked it. So they know the consequence of their actions. That might drop them in hot water with a manager, and it's proof that they're siding with the player over him. That's all it is for me. I can't look at anything beyond that. But I was thinking yesterday, like, that's one thing I noticed when I was watching Arsenal Fan TV. I was enjoying listening to fucking Troops, and not all of it. You can glean little nuggets from what they're saying, because it's in the heat of the moment, and they're coming out the ground and they're speaking from the heart. And I didn't mind what Troops and DT said yesterday. I couldn't think of his name though. But like the cunt taking the hat off his head and people finding it funny. You'd fucking see your arse if somebody did that to you. You would see your arse big time. Bollocks. As much as I dislike the guy and I think he's full of shit, that's not on. It's not on. And then the guy moaning about Xhaka and the kids behind. And this is a problem I have with the type of fans. People are saying fans now. It's a different way of supporting, and it is, guys. It's a totally different way because of social media, and the non-consequential way you can get away with things these days. So while that guy's talking about Xhaka, there's a load of what look like 11-year-olds in the background chanting, "What do we think of Granit Xhaka? Shit. What do we think of shit? Granit Xhaka, loud as fuck." That I don't like. I ain't got no time for that. I dislike him. I'm not going to stand with 20 other mates in the Emirates chanting about him. That's shit, guys. That isn't being a fan. Slating somebody, that's being a fan for me, because nobody's perfect. You're going to slate people. But targeted abuse like that, just because you don't think someone's very good, is fucking out of order. And I really didn't like that, and it just made me turn it off straight away. I thought that was really fucking classless. But it didn't shock me that it's not men in the 50s doing it that have had a season ticket, at Highbury, because it's certainly something I wouldn't do, and I'm not ancient. I'm not a fucking four-eyed fossil, but I didn't like it, and that's how I felt with it. That's classless, but that's the nature now of social media. It's why I don't like social media, and why I don't let my life revolve around it, because it's horrible. It's an horrible place, and it's a forum that allows people to say shit no matter how vile and disgusting, and there's no consequences. Whereas when I grew up, if you wanted to tell someone you hope his wife and kids died, you either rang his house phone or you knocked on his door and told him, and then you knew full well what was coming as soon as it came out your mouth, was fucking protect yourself, because you're getting that fucking bang and you're getting fed your teeth, and that's lucky if it's all you're getting, because you're saying something highly disrespectful. And I always say, if there's one thing you're going to do to get a man angry, it's talk about his wife, his mother or his kids. And that's something that should never be brought into football. It used to disgust me, people doing it with Beckham. Your wife's a slag. We hope your kids die. It's fucking wrong. I've seen it with Redknapp, seen it with Neville, seen it with Carragher, seen it with the other lads on Sky Sports. It's fucking vile, guys. But this is from little children that don't know the consequences of their actions. Like me, I always say the hardest lesson I learned when I grew up was getting punched by a grown man. Because you leave school all fucking cocky and you go, yeah, I'll batter anyone, until a grown man hits you like a grown man, you go, fuck, that hurts. That's a lot different to fighting little Petey on the playground 3 hours ago. That stings for a bit. So you learn then, I can't mouth off to grown men because I'm going to get dealt with like I'm a grown man. And that's what these kids, it's the lesson they haven't learnt yet. And that's why I think that this issue now is bigger than football. This whole thing on social media now, these companies, you know, Zuckerberg, whoever the fuck's in charge of Twitter, I don't know, Mr. fucking Tweety Pie, whoever it is, these guys need to get together with cyber crimes, whatever it is, and there has to be a way of holding the account holder responsible. So delete everybody's accounts and we start again, and you have to go to somewhere like a fucking signing on office where they look at your passport and look at you, and then they go, right, you can have a Twitter account, a Facebook account or whatever. Because while it's just a faceless thing that anyone can just with a fucking email they set up start talking any shit as hateful and as vile as they want, this is never going to stop. It's a Pandora's box, it's open, and it ain't ever going to get shut. And that's why they need to take some responsibility. They're setting up these platforms now for hate, for cyberbullying, you know, for real horrible shit. And I've seen that dark underbelly of it. I don't like it. It's why I only do Twitter. I only talk football. I don't want to get in it with people. It's wrong. It's not real life. And that's why these little fucks think they can get away with it. And that's what it felt like yesterday. Is it those kids outside singing xhaka? What do we think of xhaka? Shit. If he was stood there, not one of them had have fucking gone, what do we think of xhaka? The only way they'd have done it if they were fucking on another tube platform fucking 3 miles further down the road. They wouldn't have done it any other way. There's no chance. Because they've not got big enough bollocks, because the bollocks haven't even grown yet. It's nonsense. And that's what I agree with. That shit's out of order, but it doesn't condone his behaviour. 2 wrongs don't make a right, and I will not forgive him for it. It's disgusting. The worst thing you can do to me is spit on the club crest, deface the club crest, throw the fucking shirt. And he did, throwing the captain's armband, was strike number 1. Telling your gaffer to fuck off, strike number 2. Fucking the massive cherry on the cake, strike number 3, you're out, mate. He's telling the fans to go fuck themselves. And then throwing the shirt, you're just topping it off, mate. It's just insult. You know, he might as well have slashed me with a razor and tipped fucking lemon juice in it. Just piss poor, really piss poor, and I didn't like it. And something's got to be done about it. But it definitely is a different type of fan now, definitely. Because we were brought up different. It's a generational thing, it really is. And I sound like an old man, but I believe that's true. I was brought up with respect. Like I say, I would boo somebody, but it'd be a boo. It wouldn't be I think your fucking wife's ugly. It wouldn't be anything like that. It'd just be a simple boo. And I wouldn't do that en masse, really. I would just, this cunt shit to my mate next to me while he's eating his pie and we're having a cup of OXO. You know, he's just not much cop, this guy. Like I do on Twitter. You guys have seen it. I don't at anybody in anything. I don't at Arsenal in it. When Arsenal comment, I don't put underneath, tell Xhaka to go and drop dead the cunt. I don't do things like that because it's fucking petty. I'm a bigger man than that. We should all hold ourselves accountable. But by the same token, so should Granit Xhaka for his actions yesterday. And they were totally unjustifiable. Don't give a fuck how much abuse he's taking. And that's just my personal opinion, guys. Thank you very much if you stayed in for the long haul. I think it's gone from sun to fucking night while I've been talking, but we've had so much to go over, and it's just so much to look at and, you know, ruminate, cogitate, you know, and all the rest of it. It's going to take a bit of getting over, but my final thought is that I'm really disappointed that the club haven't made a statement this morning. You know, saying we apologise for his actions and him apologising, because he can feel as justified as he wants, but it isn't justified. He has to come out. You know, like my mate said to me, you know, Tony Adams, even he wouldn't have ever have done that because he was a proper captain. But if he had have done something like that, where he'd have upset the fans, or he'd have done something, you know, that was unacceptable at the club, do you know what that guy would have done? And that's why he's a proper leader. He'd have gone into fucking Unai and gone, here's my armband, mate. Give it me back when you believe I deserve it. Xhaka won't hand that armband in. He might say I don't want it anymore, but that's because he's petulant. It's not because he believes he's not a good captain. The guy thinks he shits flowers and he's crap. He's got a very high opinion of himself. Like I say, the fact that he had the cheek, it's like me messaging Thierry saying, Thierry, sit down for 10 minutes, mate, because I'm going to tell you all about playing professional football. That's the same as him telling fucking Evra about how to suck eggs. You're telling a proven winner, mate, how to be a winner and how to be a proper footballer. No wonder he sat back and laughed at you. Same with Emmanuel Petit. No wonder they laugh. You're an easy target. And that's the problem for us now, is that, you know, it's like throwing fucking water on a chip pan fire in your house to try and put it out. That's what he's done now, is he's doused the flames now. So these little horrible little fucking vermin that have been doing this shit to him, I've not seen it. I don't do Instagram. I thought that was just somewhere you posted pictures of your ugly kids and your Sunday lunches. I didn't know it was this sort of shit. I didn't realise you could talk on there. But, you know, these vile little wankers that are doing that, it's just, I feel like I've been on a real tirade, but it's just it doesn't excuse his actions. It really doesn't. And like I say, he could get rid of Instagram. He doesn't need it in his life. It's not his main source of income. Get rid of it, mate. If it's torturing him as badly as it clearly is. But like I say, now he's done the worst thing, which is he's reacted. He's given them what they wanted, which is what these little fucks do want. He's a rise out of somebody, and they've got it out of him. Their numero uno target now, along with Mustafi, he has given them what they wanted, which was look at Mustafi now. He's gone in the backlight. Why? Because he's stopped with his shit. He's stopped with the shit that he knows rubs people up the wrong way. He's knocked it on the head for a bit and just gone, I'll just fucking drift into the background for a bit. Whereas Xhaka's still up front going, well, I'm Granit Xhaka, and everybody look at me. And you're a dickhead, mate. Because nobody thinks that about you apart from yourself when you look in the mirror. No one else rates you that highly, pal. Seriously, you need to dumb it down a little bit because you ain't all that. And like I say, he's give these kids what they want now, so I don't see it getting any better for him. Because now, what do you think they're going to be doing today? Do you think that abuse has got worse today or better? I wouldn't even like to imagine the shit that he's getting sent today. It'll be disgusting. So I hope for his sake and everybody's, he's deleted all of his shit. Because he doesn't need it. Doesn't need it. So like I say, it's not deserved, but it's definitely self-inflicted a little bit, definitely. And he's just made a bigger rod for his own back now by giving them what they want. So that's it, guys. Loads of waffling. I'm sure this light's sort of blinding people. I've been trying to sort of block it with my head. Need to feed the fish anyway. But yeah, that's it from me, guys. Hope you've enjoyed. I hope it's not dragged too long. I'm sure some of you will probably, if you do bother watching, you'll break this up into a few pieces. It's a long listen. But I appreciate you being in for the journey. Really appreciate your support still and your questions. Still trying to get myself involved in some other podcasts, but no one seems to fucking want me. But, you know, all I can do is keep being myself. And, you know, some of you enjoy it, some of you don't. But that's life, innit, guys? You know, like Granit, you know, I'm a bigger man than that. I understand some people can't stand me and some people love me. That's life. You can't be loved by everybody and you can't expect to be loved by everyone. And just a quick one, guys, if you're in work today, you know, if Barbara, you know, or Sheila in accounting says, just go and do some 6 photocopies of that, please, and you go, ugh, and they moan, don't tell them to go fuck themselves. Don't take your tie off in your shirt and throw it on the floor and say, I've had enough of it. Make sure I get my pay at the end of the week. Don't do it, guys. It's not the way to behave. You're bigger than that. Signing out. Take it easy, people.